Many of you travel, you sacrifice to make sure that you can be a part of the celebration of marriage. Tonight is special because all of you are here. Many of you know Alex, he can be an effective communicator. Without anything more said, but many of you don't know that he's got great listening skills. I'll tell you a quick story about him that shows what I'm talking about. When, about 20 years ago, I was coaching Alex in T-ball, and I was a third base coach. And Alex gets up there and he hits a bomber. I mean, he knocks it out of the park. And he looks over his left shoulder at me, third, and says, "What should I do?" And I said, "Run!" And he ran to third base. So I knew right then he's a good listener. But I've watched Alex and Molly mature. Seen how they've pushed themselves through college, networking as productive members of society. Good deal. I also see how they treat each other, and we're proud to see how they love and respect each other. And like that. No one will ever know them like they know each other. They'll grow together in marriage starting tomorrow. How fun is that? It's with great happiness that Kim and I welcome Molly to our family. We love you, Molly. So raise your glass. I'll give it a touch. Enjoy the evening, for the time is near. Tomorrow will be one of the greatest days of your life. Sam, Robert, who's next? Steve, you're next. Good luck.
It is tough.
You'll do well.
Well, thank you, Kurt and Kim, for hosting tonight, and I want to thank Chris and Nancy for helping putting together this slideshow. I did have an opportunity to have a golf match this morning with my, I guess, unofficial, but to be official son-in-law tomorrow. And I got to tell you that I am so looking forward to having a son-in-law. And I wouldn't change anything in my house growing up with my beautiful wife and two beautiful daughters, but at times it got a little lonely, and for years, my only male companionship in the house was our beloved Cocker Spaniel Eisenhower. And Eisenhower passed away a couple of years ago, and I got the big cheap tablet out, and I said, "You get another Cocker Spaniel aboard, how about a son-in-law?" And so after 2 pages of the big cheap tablet, it came back to, it's a tie. Cocker Spaniel or son-in-law. So I asked Lynn, I said, "What should we do?" And she said, "You should get a tiebreaker." So a couple months went by, and all of a sudden, the tiebreaker showed up in my life. And that was Alex Breitenbach. And we really drew the long straw with Alex. And I can't tell you how much we're looking forward to having you as a part of our family. I know that you've had an opportunity to meet our extended family, both on my side of the Mattingly side and on the Patton side of the family. Alex came down last year when Elizabeth, Nancy's daughter, was getting married, so he had a chance to meet a lot of our other extended family, and he didn't run away then, so I thought that was a very good sign. But, you know, Alex, we're going to work together on this father-in-law gig. That's going to be a new deal to me. And I started looking online and looking for books, how to be a great father-in-law. But I will say, just as a father-in-law, son-in-law relationship, I didn't have to look any further because I have a role model to go by, and that's my own father-in-law. And that, I'm going to kind of choose from him the things that he's done for me and try to do those for you. And so I really welcome you very much. Thank you all. Now, you're going to have to indulge me just one moment. I'm not going to be able to do this tomorrow, and I'm not much of a poet. And I think I have a little ADD when trying to make words rhyme. But I needed to say something to my daughter. And I won't get to do this tomorrow. So I've written something. And don't worry, Molly. It's not about wrecking the car. It's not about that. And remember, I'm no artist or poet, so kind of bear with me here. And I titled this, My Molly. My darling daughter Molly, I just want you to know, wherever your life takes you, my heart shall also go. When I learned you were coming, it was a wonderful night. But little did I know, my child, you became my guiding light. I held you and raised you, kissing life's pains away. But now I know there'll be another, starting your wedding day. But go into the world, my love, and chase all the joys you can. But just remember you're still mine, dear Molly. I'm just sharing you with that man. So if you raise your glass, and short toast. Here's to the past for all that you have learned. Here's to the present for all that you share. Here's to the future and all that you may look forward to. Molly, I will always be grateful to have been given God's honor of you having been your father. Thank you.
I'm supposed to follow that. Good evening. I'm Kurt's only brother, Kenny. This is the result of years and years of physical and emotional abuse from my older brother. But I'm also Alex's godfather and favorite blood uncle. Blood uncle. Now, favorite uncle. Please don't think just because I'm his only blood uncle that undermines that statement. But anyhow, I live in Louisiana, and when I learned that Alex's bachelor party was going to be held in New Orleans, I thought, what a perfect time to plan a trip to Kansas. What kind of uncle would I be, if I didn't partake in the festivities? But the first evening, somehow these guys made it without me. I don't know how. But we agreed to meet for lunch the next day. And of course, they were about an hour and a half late. I think because they were looking for Western Union locations to try to get more money wired in. Obviously a botched budget process they went through. But then they finally showed up. And I saw them, and I said, oh my. They almost had food poisoning from the dinner the night before. what I did is met a bunch of great guys that were there to support their friend Alex in a union to a wonderful woman, Molly. And for that, I thank them. And they are very great friends. So let's raise our glasses and toast an amazing couple. Next.
All right, like my dad said, you guys probably don't want to sit here and listen to me talk all night, so I'm trying to keep things pretty brief. For those of you that don't know, I'm Sam, Alex's brother, and I'm best man along with Robert. And knowing that my dad and Kenny and Robert were going to end up talking tonight, I figured I'd let all the joking go to them. I figure it's more their forte than mine. But tonight, I just kind of want to share with you guys just one pretty brief story. Also, it comes from a bachelor party like Kenny's. Don't worry about it. One brief story about why I think Alex is going to make a great husband to Molly, and why Molly you're lucky to have. I mean, we all know that he's extremely lucky to have you, so there's no point in standing up here talking about that. But like I said, my story comes from a bachelor party. After a long day in New Orleans of various Bible studies and volunteer groups, things like that, we were pretty tired. So that night we decided to all walk back to the hotel together, and Alex and I were standing together, kind of away from the pack, so it's just us two. We had a little time to talk. First we started just kind of reminiscing about the night, different things that had happened. After a while we started talking about the upcoming wedding. And I asked Alex, how excited he was, different things he was looking forward to, and of course we talked about how lucky he is to have someone like Molly. And after a while, we both kind of turned our heads around, realized that we were lost. We had no idea where we were. I mean, we had been talking for so long, had kind of got lost in the streets down there, we didn't know how to get back to our hotel. And it was at that moment that Alex turned to me, and he said something that I'll never forget as long as ever. It was something that was really kind of out of the norm for him to say to me, something that he said very matter-of-factly, very kind of out of the blue. He turned to me and he said, "Sam, it doesn't matter where you're trying to go in life, as long as you have someone getting there with you." And that's a direct quote from Alex Breitenbach, whether he wants to admit it or not. At the time, I just kind of sloughed it off, didn't really think very much of it, kind of laughed. I didn't really know how to respond, it was so out of the blue. And at the time, like I said, I thought that he was just talking about us, trying to find our way back to the hotel. But a few days went by, started mulling it over in my head a little bit, started realizing that he wasn't really talking about us that night. He was talking about Mom. Same thing we had been talking about all night, their upcoming future together. And I started to realize how much that quote pertains to me, my life. How my whole life I've been getting there with Alex. How he's always been the one that I've had to look up to, someone who's always been there to give me advice, someone who's always been a big brother for me. And then the realization kind of hit me that starting tomorrow, that's not going to happen anymore. It's not going to be Sam and Alex anymore. It's not going to be Robert and Alex. It's not going to be Caroline and Molly. I mean, of course, we're still going to be big parts of their lives, but from now on, it's going to be them two going forward together. And nothing other than that fact would make me happier, because you two have each other, and also you have direction. You have great families who love you. You have great jobs and new places to live in together. I mean, you guys have lives that anyone would envy. And I couldn't be happier for the both of you. I couldn't be prouder for the both of you. Molly, can't wait to call you my sister. So, raise your glasses for Brian.
That's my God.